You're watching BreakThru News.
Hi everyone, I'm Charlotte Thun-Hohenstein and you're watching BreakThru News on BTR Today. Today we're talking about the recent launch of the new social network called Ello, which is being termed the anti-Facebook. It's been generating a huge amount of interest. Could it actually replace the social media behemoth? With me in the studio, we have two people today, Dane Fellman and Molly Friedman from BTR's The Hash. Thanks, guys.
Good to be here.
Yay. So Ello launched on August 7th, and now it's up to, I think, 38,000 requests to join a day because it's invite only, which is pretty impressive. It sounds like it's doing well for itself, right? What do you think's the appeal here?
I mean, I think everyone's always interested in a new social media site, especially, our generation is so up on social media sites and they just love learning about the new or the next big thing, like the new thing. And I think that a lot of people are generating conversation around it, and then people want to join the conversation, and then, it sort of propels itself forward.
Almost just by virtue of the fact that A, it's a new social media site, and B, it's invite only right there, as opposed to comparisons with Facebook, because it is being called the anti-Facebook.
Well, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but I remember needing an invite to join Facebook 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And there was something to that exclusivity that was like, ooh, I need an invite. But then also when you see, and I don't want to act like I'm a sheep, but I am kind of a sheep when it comes to social media. When you see other people are trying something, you want to try it too. I know, it's a terrible way to explain yourself, but that's the way social media works. When you see other people are doing something, it's that true fear of missing out. What am I missing out? I need to join too.
But let's talk a bit more about the comparisons with Facebook, right? Because it is in some level, I mean, people are calling it like the Facebook alternative, but with these added benefits, like you don't have to use like real information for your profile name or other things. They promise not to sell your information to anyone.
I mean, I'm already seeing people are screenshotting the terms of service of Ello. And I mean, I can't verify it because I haven't actually looked at the terms of service of Ello, but the screenshot said that in there, Ello does reserve the right to sell your information if they want to. So, I mean, they're sort of building their whole brand on this sort of like, oh, we're not going to sell your information, but are they? I mean, in this age of digital, communication and everyone's selling ad space and everything, like they might still be doing it.
Dane, do you trust their promises?
I mean,
no ads.
No.
So their promises are no ads and no selling information.
I mean, I don't. But I personally don't care. I don't care. I don't find them intrusive the way most people do. For me, the difference is, can it offer me the things socially that Facebook offers me? And what I see so far is that I don't think that it can.
So what do you think that Facebook offers you socially?
For me personally, it's, I mean, my whole life I've had many different groups of friends, just pods. I went to camp for a long time as a kid. I went to college out of state. I stayed close with my high school friends. Now I am close with all of you guys. It's nice to have those different private groups that other people aren't going to see that information. We can share it with each other, and it can be all in one place, and it doesn't have to be a text message. That's something that I don't think I'm going to leave Facebook unless I can find another site that's going to do that.
Yeah, Facebook has sort of become like almost like the yellow pages for your group of friends, because it's an easy way to communicate, and everyone has a Facebook. So it's sort of become like the old, like how a landline, like everyone had a landline. Now everyone has a Facebook, and you can find them on it and you can communicate with them even if you can't find their email address.
So what would it take, Molly, for you to leave Facebook? Are you even looking to leave Facebook? Because I feel like most people have a somewhat love-hate relationship.
I mean, I don't use Facebook for a lot of things. Like, I really don't post on my own. Like, I don't make status updates the way that I used to. I don't make notes the way that I used to. I occasionally post, my articles on my wall to share them with my friends. But mostly I use it to keep in touch with friends who don't have other social media, or my mother.
Well, that's good. That's very good.
Yeah.
But so is it a question of just needing enough people? Because I think 57% of all American adults are on Facebook, and it's got under nearly 1 billion users daily. So that's just a lot of people that
Mhm.
would have to shift to another site to make it worth leaving Facebook.
I mean, yeah, you'd have to really come up with a site that provides all the services of Facebook and still being different, because there are so many different social media sites that provide a lot of the same things that Facebook has, but more like centralized. Like Instagram has photos, but that's
Which
all
is
it
owned by
is.
Facebook.
Yes, that's true. Okay, so Twitter is basically status updates, but just status updates.
Mm.
Yeah.
So like there are other more streamlined social media sites, and Facebook is sort of an amalgamation of everything.
And yet we feel the need to use them all.
Yeah.
We do. I mean, and I think that's really the issue here, is that we now, like Molly just said, Facebook is something that everybody, it's kind of their default. So what you need is not only something that's going to serve you a purpose, but something that's going to not just be just another thing you have. It's
Mhm.
got to be the reason to leave Facebook, because all these other social media platforms are taking one great aspect of Facebook and blowing it into something else. So everybody has a Facebook, but everybody who has a Twitter is thinking just status updates. Everybody who
Yeah.
has an Instagram is thinking just photos. And yeah, sometimes people post textograms and sometimes people post photos on Twitter, but what you need is that circle. And I think Google Plus tried to do that, but
Mhm.
failed because it's not user friendly. What you need is something that's going to be user friendly. And some of the reviews of Elo are saying that it's not user friendly in the way that Facebook is.
Well, we are going to take a very quick break. We'll be right back after this quick excerpt from the latest episode of Live Studio featuring Asian Dub Foundation. We'll be right back.
Yo, my mind has been polluted with misinformation, false statistics, imaginary situations, trying to turn me into that evil person. Skull and Bones, Bohemian Grove and Freemasons, dividing and ruling what? All the nations, making decisions, creating justifications. But remember, there's a consequence to every action, so don't get so surprised when you see a reaction. They're a fraction compared to the world's population. Divert our attention with money, drugs and television.
We're back with Dane and Molly in the studio talking about Elo and alternatives to Facebook. So let's talk a bit about the process of deactivating Facebook, because it seems like it's quite a high threshold in terms of things you have to give up on and the whole process to go through to make it worthwhile actually leaving for good, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I had a lot of friends in college who would deactivate their Facebooks, you know, for short periods of time during finals week or whatever, so that they wouldn't be distracted. But I've never deactivated my Facebook, and I don't know if that's just me because I've never deactivated a social media site. Like I had a MySpace, I had a Zanga way back when, but I never deactivated those things. They're still out
So
there.
still
Yeah, I just sort of
alive.
slowly stopped using them instead. So I mean, I don't think there's going to be any one social media site that can like take over from Facebook or take over Facebook's demographic. But I think people may stop using it slowly if they are going to stop using it at all.
I definitely think
anything to
that's
add?
true. I have a few friends who've already deactivated their accounts completely. And for me, I've thought about it, but it's like I was talking about earlier with the social circles and that needing to be taken somewhere else in order for me to leave. But it's more than that. I mean, I mentioned this earlier. I've had a Facebook for 10 years.
Wow.
I've had one since the beginning. I got an invite from a friend and I joined it right away. I remember being like, this is kind of dumb, but all right, I'm interested, whatever. And so I joined, and you know, the thing with that is that especially so early on, everybody was uploading photo albums and all this information, and for me, it's sort of been my photo album for almost half of my life.
Mhm.
So the idea of leaving it is sort of like, well, what do I do when I deactivate it? I mean, am I going to have to
It's too
manually?
overwhelming. the
Well,
process
extremely
of having
overwhelming.
to
Facebook has managed to
Change a lot.
become so ingrained in such a huge number of people's lives. Like
Mm.
Dane said, yeah, I mean, for us, it's half of our lives, but there are people who are, 10 years younger than us that their entire childhood is on Facebook, all of their photographs. And if their parents are on Facebook, then their parents' photographs are on there too,
Yeah.
that they took when they were even too young to be on social media and posting their own photographs. So, I mean, yeah, Facebook might stay around forever. And I mean, all of these other social media sites, like
Facebook might stay around forever, guys.
calling it now.
It may stick around for a long time. Even if people move on, it's just going to be such a pain to take all that information off and
Mhm.
save it somewhere else. I mean, to think about how many computers I've gone through since I started a Facebook account,
Yeah.
how many times I've stupidly not backed up my information and I've lost it. Those photos are still there. That information is still there. I mean, would I like to start something that's more tight knit? Yes. Would I like to only friend the people I actually care about? Yes. Would it be a huge pain to
Go through all
unfriend
your
the
friends, yeah.
1,000 people that I have gotten to be friends with over the years?
All right.
I mean, and these, I would guarantee you that at least 800 of those people I don't care about. Half the time I'm like, who is that? But I
I
can't
hope
be
none of
Could
them
bothered.
are
be you.
listening.
So would you have an Elo account and a Facebook account?
At least to start.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a part of so many social media sites that at this point it's just like, why not add another one?
Yeah. I mean, do either of you feel sentimental about Facebook? You know, like, because you're describing how essentially almost half your life has involved Facebook.
It's funny because
Is there
it
any
doesn't,
sort of affection for it, or
No.
is it more just pure practicality? It would be a pain.
it's
have
for me,
to
it's pure
shift everything?
practicality.
I think I'm a
Yes.
little sentimental.
Okay.
about it.
Okay.
Like I would be sad if I ever deleted, my profile. Like I would feel the loss.
you would have to grieve
Yeah.
for a little bit.
A little bit. Not
Right.
like, the
Well-
same grieving process of like a lost loved one, but
Thank
Well,
God.
it's it's so
but you're
ingrained.
kind of losing hundreds of loved ones online.
All 1,000 of your friends. No, but
I don't have
it's
that many.
it's
Yeah.
ingrained in you in a way that I
Yeah.
think the morning period would be like, oh, I'm bored on my computer. Start typing in Facebook. Oh wait, I don't have one anymore. How often do you find yourself on
God, your
Facebook when you don't
quality
even
of
mean to be
life
there?
would just plummet. Like,
See, I don't even use it for that. Like I literally only use it for practical reasons, but I don't go on there when I'm bored. But I mean, I still would miss it. I would miss like
Hmm.
chatting with my friends on Facebook. That's what I would miss, which is a communication thing.
it sounds like both you guys are more attached to Facebook than you are curious about Elo.
Yeah.
As weird as it sounds, yeah, because I always thought of myself as someone who would definitely leave Facebook. I think if I felt that Elo had more to offer, then I would totally feel, a little bit differently. I don't know enough about Tumblr, but Elo kind of feels like it looks like Tumblr to me.
Yeah. Well, I guess time will tell. We'll see what they do with it. Thanks, guys, for joining me. We'll be right back in a moment after this quick excerpt from a bonus edition of BTR Live Studio this week on BreakThruRadio.com featuring Johnny Lewis. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. Be sure to check out BreakThruRadio.com throughout the weekend for our continued Debt Week coverage, including Brian Fensel's piece on the return of debtors' prisons. That's it for what's breaking through the news today. Tell us what's breaking through your world on Twitter @BreakThruRadio. I'm Charlotte Thun-Hohenstein, and thank you for joining us.